All right, there we go. Could have used this Friday, but I think I might have known what the problem was. Hello there. Hope you're having a good evening. All right, I believe we are ready to get started. Yes, two streams on one day. What are the chances when it's not a special event? Alrighty, so yes, we are back to Pokemon Violet. So yeah, man, that direct was certainly crazy, I will say. In fact, while I'm catching up on classes, I know in past sessions I've been kind of like, you know, kind of talking about it with like the chat boxes and stuff like that, but I'm probably gonna talk more about the direct because dang, quite a number of things took some time to process, and that's a good thing because I mean they basically kind of came out swinging. It's like, man, it's like, you think you know everything with Nintendo, and then they just like to catch you by surprise, for sure, And I think, they've kind of done this like at least a couple times before, where they'll skip like a period, when they usually have like their directs or any sort of announcements and stuff like that. Um, and uh, and then it's like the next time that they have a direct, it's just announcement after announcement after announcement after announcement because, um, prior to today, um, it was like mainly third party and uh indie games that have been kind of consistent because as far as like main game releases, the only games that were kind of out were, Princess Peach Showtime, as well as Paper Mario Thousand Year Door remake. And we knew Luigi's Mansion 2 was on the way for the Switch. Which is basically the port of, the 3DS game. So yeah, I mean, but yeah, it's like they started off with a new Mario and Luigi game of all things. A series that people thought was going to be on the back burner for a while, considering how the remakes didn't do as well as Nintendo would have liked, which kind of led to the shutdown of Alpha Dream. The dev team behind the Mario and Luigi games. Although I think a good number of the Alpha Dream devs just went back to like the main studios over at Nintendo. So they all still had jobs related to Nintendo in some form or fashion, including with their partner studios. Like I think some of them went to Monolith Soft, and among others. So yeah, I guess it really shouldn't be too surprising, but it just caught a lot of people by surprise, and it wasn't even a remake or a remaster. No, it's a brand new game, and I mean, especially because uh, Mario RPG fans were kind of hurting for a while. It's like after Alpha Dream closed, like the most they got was a Paper Mario game that people weren't exactly down with. In Origami King, and this came after the fact that people were starting to get impatient with Paper Mario as a whole, with after Sticker Star and all that stuff. But yeah, it's like we got a remake of Super Mario RPG, we got a remake of Thousand Year Door, and now we're getting a brand new Mario and Luigi game. So Mario RPG, people that have been longtime fans of Mario RPGs, they're definitely having a good time, and I hope the new Mario and Luigi game, Brothership, ends up being pretty good. But yeah, it's like even the announcements that didn't quite land, it's not like they completely broke the pace of the entire presentation. Like Nintendo Switch Sports finally gets a new free update, even though it really should be getting a lot more by this time. Disney Illusion Island gets a free update, which is pretty cool. Didn't really. Let's see. So, didn't really care much for the Funko Pop game, and for as nice of an idea as the Looney Tunes sports game is, it did feel a little off to me. I think those were kind of like the weakest announcements in my mind. But again, it's like, they didn't overstay their welcome, you know, you know, or anything like that, because yeah, it's like the announcements that really stuck, even not so much for me, but I feel like I could like tell like it's these are games that people would like. It's just it kept coming one after the other after the other. Not only do we have a new Mario and Luigi RPG on the way, Donkey Kong Returns, Donkey Kong Country Returns is getting an HD remaster on Switch with stuff from both the Wii and the 3DS titles. you know, uh, the the first three Dragon Quest games are getting HD 2D remakes. They actually started off with, announcing, the third game first because it's chronologically the first game in the series, but then not too long after, 1 and 2 are also going to get HD 2D remakes. There's going to be, a RPG, a Square RPG made by the creator of Final Fantasy, with the soundtrack by the original composer of Final Fantasy, that has like a pretty nice dealio. So yeah, and again, that's not, those were not even the. I mean, they can still be announcements that get people off their seat, but I need something to drink. My throat's starting to get a little dry. But yeah, it's like, let's see. I mean, the first announcement, and it's really funny how this happened, because this is regarding to the whole the fighting game collection with the Marvel vs. Capcom games, which includes Marvel vs. Capcom 2, the one everyone really, really, really wants to own again without dropping like hundreds of dollars into owning a physical copy. But yeah, it's like people thought that, there wasn't going to be much of a chance of getting like Marvel vs. Capcom, especially the older games, in any capacity because, Disney owns Marvel now. Whatever sort of legal rights gymnastics that Capcom had to do to make that collection happen, it's already paying off because people were going nuts. And I mean, even I was like, hold on, wait a second, what? Because they the Nintendo Direct, especially because it's a third-party title, they kind of treat it as if it was just another next announcement sort of deal. And when it came up, everyone was like, wait, what? Like, wait, is this actually happening? It's like, it was one of those announcements that took a little bit to process before we were like, yeah, So, but yeah, it's like, Terry Bogard is not from Capcom. You might be thinking of Street Fighter 6 because, they just announced Terry Bogard and Mai Shiranui as DLC characters for Street Fighter 6. Not to mention there is a new Fatal Fury game coming out. And of course, Terry is also in Smash, but no, Terry Bogard is not going to be in the Marvel Versus series because it's actually the Marvel comic characters versus Capcom characters, which is, that on its own is like absolutely bonkers, but it was something that they were able to like do for quite a while, especially because at the time that the games were originally made, Capcom was doing a lot of Marvel beat 'em up games. So Marvel basically gave them creative freedom to make these like crossover games, starting with X-Men versus Street Fighter. And then they expanded it to Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter, and then it eventually became Marvel versus Capcom. Unfortunately, after 3 is kind of when, Capcom kind of didn't have the rights to... The Marvel rights didn't come as easily to Capcom, because not too long after Marvel 3 and Ultimate Marvel 3, Marvel Capcom versus Capcom 3, Disney acquired the rights to Marvel, and it kind of made it a little harder for them to, work with Marvel characters, which is kind of partly the reason why Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite didn't really work out so well, unfortunately. This was also kind of around the time where Capcom was still kind of needed to find themselves a little bit because they weren't doing so hot. They were kind of doing stupid crap. And even if they were kind of like getting their feet together with like, new hit after new hit after new hit after new hit, especially with Resident Evil and Monster Hunter, the fighting game division was still kind of dragging their feet a little bit, unfortunately. But yeah, it's like everyone was going absolutely nuts over the Marvel vs. Capcom fighting game collection news that was first revealed in a Nintendo Direct of all places. That, people kind of had to like try to slow down a little bit and kind of process that there was going to be a new Super Mario Party game, coming up, because that was like the very next thing. And I mean, it definitely looked pretty promising. I haven't really played a lot of Mario Party because the only one I got is Superstars to just kind of get myself familiar with it. And I didn't really, especially because it relies on multiplayer a lot. I just sort of have it. Let's see. But yeah, it's like it definitely looked pretty promising. I feel though. Yeah, have a good night. But yeah, definitely rest well. For summer camp and all that. But where was I? But yeah, it's like, and the thing that I kind of find the most kind of awkward is that they're kind of using the game to introduce, a couple of old boards again, which, why didn't you just do that at Mario Party Superstars via like free updates? Or even like DLC that could be free to expansion pass holders, which, isn't as good, but, still, it's like, I don't get it. But, it still looks fun for those that are into Mario Party, so, And I think not long after that, not long after that, we get a new Zelda game in the style of, the Link's Awakening remake, but instead it's actually a brand new game and you actually play as Zelda, which I know it sounds like, well, why wouldn't you play as Zelda? It's a Legend of Zelda game. But that's kind of the conundrum that people have tried to explain to people. Where it's like, no, you play as Link. And you often rescue Zelda. That's usually the thing with Legend of Zelda. It's like, you're not playing as Zelda, you're rescuing Zelda. But no, you are actually playing as Zelda this time around. Hold on. I kind of had to. Sorry, I had to kind of listen to the audio cue a little bit. But yeah. But yeah, it's like the main kind of deal is to kind of capture like a memory of like an object or an enemy, and then you kind of use create kind of echoes or clones of it to use at your disposal for either, you know, platforming, puzzle solving, or even combat, which is great, you know, especially because the way that they kind of use like a magic wand to kind of go about your business definitely fits Zelda. You know, she doesn't necessarily need a sword, you know, she can use magic just fine, so why not just have a gameplay, you know, just have, you know, gameplay style, you know, with like magic and stuff. And they managed to, you know, after almost 40 years, they managed to figure out something that can work for, like, you know, playing as Zelda in a Zelda game. You know, that obviously, you know, is not a side game, and of course the CDI games don't count. You know. But yeah, it's like people are. It was one of those things where it's, well, not only was it another one of those things that so the thing is that not only was it a case of, you know, taking a while to process, it's like, wait, did they just literally announce this? But it was also a case of, you know, since I kind of gave up a little bit on trying to get to Legend of Zelda because it just wasn't doing it for me. But it was one of those things where it's like, it may not be a game that I'm interested in, but I know that there are plenty of people that would very much want to play this. Which is good, you know. It's like, you know, the thing that people do not understand is that, especially when it comes to, you know, gaming presentations that'll have, you know, multiple announcements for like any company or just any system, is that, you know, the announcements are not just for you. Therefore, you know, anybody that just so happens to own a particular system or platform, you know. So, you know, it's okay if throughout the presentation that there's maybe only one or two games that you're really excited for, maybe you know, a handful that you're interested in, and that's it, you know. As long as that presentation is paced well, as long as you can have an idea that, yes, you know, there are people that are trying to continue to create excellent games and wonderful experiences that will hopefully provide, you know, enjoyment for the audience and success for the people that made them, you know, that should really all be all that matters. Like, you know, and you could tell that it was a better than usual, a better than usual direct when you have less of people like kind of being like, why wasn't this in there? You know, why was this in there? You know, sort of thing. You know, and you know, there are some people that are never going to be pleased, unfortunately. But when you have enough for people to be satisfied or be willing to be like, okay, this wasn't necessarily announced, but I'm okay with this, it is a sign that, you know, the presentation definitely did its job, you know, getting people excited for what is to come, sort of deal. So, because, yeah, it's like, you know, a lot of people, you know, wanted a new, you know, Star Fox, because, you know, Zero unfortunately didn't do so well. People would like to see a new, or at the very least, remake of an F-Zero game, because for as much as F-Zero 99 is doing well and is still a really good game, I still enjoy playing it. You know, it would be nice to actually have a title that isn't confined to an online service. Especially something that you can play offline, you know, something that, you know, maybe, you know, 3D HD sort of deal. So, And I saw a lot of people that were kind of hoping for Hollow Knight Silksong, and the thing is that well, we did have the interesting case of the Marvel vs. Capcom fighting game collection being announced through a Nintendo Direct before it was announced that it was also coming to PlayStation 4 and Steam. That's not something that usually happens, you know. Same thing where it's like, sometimes it's not, sometimes, it may be announced at a Sony State of Play and then we find out later that it's coming to Steam, Xbox, and Switch, That doesn't happen as often as you think it does. And usually when that happens, it's usually for companies that, make multi-platform titles from the outset, which usually is not an indie company. Indie companies usually make their games for PC. Maybe PC Mac, maybe even PC Mac and Linux, but usually for computers first, and then if it does well enough, it gets ported to consoles. So if we want to hear anything about indie game that has been announced and has been haven't heard anything for a while sort of deal, you're likely going to have, if it's not going to be shown in a trailer on its very own, it's likely going to be in a presentation known for multi-platform releases. Nintendo Directs do have multi-platform releases in them, but more often than not, they are usually geared towards Nintendo specific titles. Even though sometimes the announcement of something coming over to Switch is in of itself a big announcement. So, and of course, we got, after, a few more announcements, I think there's a Romancing Saga remake of the like. We finally got the big one. They finally got the big one at the end. I guess before I even go into this, another nice announcement is we are getting more NSO titles. Four Swords, Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, Four Swords Adventure, is on the GPA. And it seems like there's going to be online connectivity for the multiplayer, which is pretty nice for people that wanted to play that game. Really nice to see Metroid Zero Mission getting onto the NSO. Just right as I'm lamenting the fact that my Wii U is basically no longer working, at least for the time being. I have a way to play Zero Mission and hopefully stream it, later down the road. And apparently, there's an additional. They basically made an additional supplementary Nintendo 64 app specifically geared towards mature themed games. And the first two that they've released is Turok, which is basically a first-person dinosaur esque game. And Perfect Dark. So that's pretty interesting, They actually are considering bringing mature rated N64 games to the fold later down the line. It definitely will add a little bit to the N64 library, although there are some games, rated E through teen that still kind of need to be on NSO. And it's nice to see. But yeah, and then finally we finally got the big one. Metroid Prime 4 is not only still still existed and it's coming out, but we even saw gameplay of it, and yep, it is most certainly a Metroid Prime 4 game. It kind of almost seemed like the remaster of the first Prime game kind of acted as a demo of sorts, and I mean, man, 2025 cannot come quickly enough. I mean, it is very interesting. The Switch has still got some life left in it. I mean, this could have very easily have been like a very middling direct, just full of, titles, and, maybe the the highlight would have been like a remake or remaster of sorts, just to fill in the calendar until the Switch 2 comes along. But no, this was definitely a very big deal. And to show that they really wanted to have the final year or so of the Switch end on a high note, which, I mean, you're definitely leaving the system coming afterwards big shoes to fill. I mean, almost kind of makes me a little concerned whether or not it's like, should we be worried that the next console's gonna end up having like issues like the Wii U or something? It's like, but I mean, I feel like as long as they just focused on what worked for the Switch and just make it better, kind of like just literally a more powerful Switch. I feel like that would be helpful, and I've already kind of made like kind of a discussion video, with kind of like my wish list and stuff like that. And, it seems like hopefully with what we've seen at the Direct, hopefully it sets like a good kind of like a good, a template for how to start off with the launch of, what eventually will be the successor, especially given the fact that, hopefully that there'll be some backwards compatibility of sorts, both from a physical standpoint and a digital standpoint. But, you never know, though. Never know until it's there. Okay. Almost done with these classes. And then we're going to be focusing on... Well, no, I mean, we want to do all the, like, kind of the side quest stuff with the faculty. And then we can get a move on. We're gonna try to be raising a good few Pokemon to combat ghost types and fairy types. It's like, oh, oops. You just casually said that. It's like, oops. Like, kind of broke confidentiality for a moment there. But yeah, it was a very excellent direct, you know. And the interesting thing about it was with Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, that was actually something that I kind of got a little bit spoiled on because when I was trying to go through like through my notifications real quick after getting up this morning and just kind of getting myself ready and stuff, it's like I did see the logo of it, so it's like, oh. Oh, this is gonna be interesting. But I am kind of glad that I kind of took the extra step of just going through my notifications real quick, and just trying to not look into anything too thoroughly, just so that most of the direct can remain as a surprise, so that way that I could actually stream a proper reaction like I did earlier today, instead of having one of those where I awkward kind of post reactions where it's like I have my iPad situated to where it's like I can like face the camera directly. I have my AirPods on, and it's like which the audio quality isn't as good. No, it was an actual reaction this time, and it felt really nice to do it. It's been a while since I've done one of those, so yeah. And I felt like, especially since they already kind of said that it was going to be like over 40 minutes. It's like, okay, well, it's like even though I saw that little thing, if I can manage to not be spoiled too much, I should be able to have like genuine reactions and stuff. And I mean, I even felt like I had a genuine reaction when I actually saw, the actual announcement in question for Metroid Prime 4. Obviously I wasn't like, because, as much as I was on the inside, I also had to keep in mind that, I live with other people, and I don't want to, have them going like, oh, what the heck's going on? That sort of deal. So, but, kind of half of the entertainment is not only just, seeing it for myself and, finding announcements out for itself, but also just seeing how other people kind of react to announcements. And I mean, sometimes but yeah, it's like, seeing other people react, especially for announcements that they've been wanting to, see, and just kind of like, have, a sort, various sort of excitement about them, that's just, that kind of makes, these special presentations like, very nice, Nintendo, that's kind of the thing that I kind of missed with like E3. Back when E3, was held regularly, and those sort of things. Before it started petering off and eventually being closed. And I mean, there were a lot of very cringy moments too, but it's like, if it weren't for like announcements that, kept you excited and on the seat of your pants, um, but it's like, even for the moments that didn't quite land as well, it was still funny for people to like make memes and like parodies and stuff like that. It was just like, pretty funny. But yeah, it's like, various announcements. But yeah, it's like various announcements, especially like, Nintendo Direct. And not just Nintendo Direct, but it's like, even in regards to specific games, like, man, Smash Brothers. Smash Brothers in particular, it is a very, very special time, especially with like, new fighter announcements, speculations and all that stuff. It's just like, it is certainly quite a time. You sometimes for the better, sometimes not so much, because then you got people that they do try to kind of spoil it a little bit. It's like, oh, this fighter is such a wasted slot, or it's, why isn't this fighter in, or here's why this fighter should be in. And it's like, people really some people, or people that swear by certain rumors that aren't exactly substantiated by any sort of proof, which I mean could be true for like video game announcements as well, because I mean, raise your hand if not just Smash Brothers, but even just video games in general, where it's like you hear people that said, oh, I know someone who worked here, usually Nintendo, and it said that this game's gonna come out, or this game's gonna have this, and it's like, and it has like a very source is trust me bro sort of vibe to it. It's like, especially with social media, these sort of things just become too numerous too numerous to keep track of. It's a shy little boy. Aww. Hopefully, I don't lock myself out of like with the conversation with the nurse. Probably. Young and thoughtless. It was last month. I think Dendra has a crush on Nurse Miriam. Oh, you okay over here, my dude? You can do it. Yeah, totally not. Okay, let's see now. Do I have anything else? Nope, we are good. So, alright. Uh, I'm gonna save my adventure, and I'm gonna take a little break, and then I will be right back. So, break time. All right, check and see if my audio's back on. All right, all good. Also, I do apologize if you're kind of if you might be hearing a little bit of an echo in the background. The thing about it is that I recently kind of changed my setup a little bit. Not so much streaming setup, but actual video game playing setup. Uh, the TV that I've had for over 10 years is finally starting to kind of give out a little bit. So what we ended up doing is that when my grandmother briefly resided with us, she actually brought a few things from her house into the guest room, which is right next to my room. And one of those things was her, her TV that they had in the main room, which was a little bit bigger than mine. As well as, it's also newer, as well as a sound bar that came with a sound woofer. So I just did a good old swap, and the only downside with the TV so far is that one, it only has two HDMI ports, so I can only have one game console plugged in. Well, not so much plugged in, but rather like connected via HDMI port at a time, as well as the cable box. And the other thing is the on TV speakers aren't really that good. So hence the soundbar, and I'm actually been able to fit alongside the soundbar in the front, especially because especially with the current situation with my Wii U, I don't really need kind of the motion control sensor thing as of this moment. So in the future, I might just put it like on top of the soundbar or something like that if I'm able to get it working again, or replace it with a standalone Wii if it should ever come down to it. But yeah, I had to do some reconfiguring in order to kind of make things work a little bit. So we previously battled Larry and Atticus. So okay, so the next I'd say I'm trying to think of what would be the best idea to do first. Should I do Ortega or should I do Rhyme? Because Ortega is fairy type and Rhyme is ghost type. Not only ghost type, but you also fight in double battles with Rhyme. So I am going to start off here. I'm playing at this spot. And then go from there. I was thinking of trying to level enough Pokemon to like level 42-ish. Because then after those two, we're going to be fighting against Tulip, who is like in the completely opposite direction. And has psychic types. Ooh, I get a nice lovely prize. Expert belt. Nice. I'm gonna check to see if there's anything I can sell off. Yeah, I never use these. I have no reason to use these. Okay, yeah, and on top of that, is there anything I should be buying? Okay, I should have enough potions. I am probably good on the balls for the time being. Revives look okay. I can't buy full heals yet, unfortunately, but I think I have enough to work with. Plus, I also have berries. So, yeah. So yeah, I think I was kind of skirting around here for a while, trying to get to Atticus. Oh, I didn't exactly mark where I wanted to go yet. Oops. Because I think I'm kind of backtracking a little bit. Uh, I mean, yeah, let's actually kind of start here. Oh! Hello there! Wait, hold on. Oh, oh. Heh. Oh, level 40, and I don't feel like I'm gonna be able to run away from that, so, okay. Let's take care of it real quick. Alright. Yeah, gotta be a little bit mindful. Some of these encounters aren't gonna be easy peasy lemon squeezy. If we can find a way to kind of coast around the mountain, we should be good. We also have to be careful regarding one lake in particular. It could be a very, very unpleasant time if you just kind of go in and you're not really watching where you're going. May have to skirt around the mountain a little bit more. Alright, I'll talk to you. Hey, you talked to me! Thanks, now let's battle! Love how you basically summarize establishing Pokemon battling in a nutshell. Although up until now, it's basically, hey, you know, we've locked eyes, so we must battle. That's kind of what it was for the longest time. Oh, yeah, that's right, you have Protean. Interesting. You're bold. Thanks, I guess? A backpacker's only weakness is steel-type moves? I imagine that would be like your only weakness if, yeah, Pokemon weak to steel types. Sorry. Dude. That only helps me. Whoops. Although, to be fair, I mean, you are kind of taking chunks off of my health at least. So, let's fix that. Alright, for Raph, yeah. This is gonna be a little counterintuitive, but I might be able to make something work here. But yeah, see, trainers are already kind of whipping out level 38 Pokemon in this direction. I got a couple of my own now, too. Yeah, it's like, gotta be a little careful of having a lot of my best Pokemon kind of be leveled up too quickly, because, you know, I still gotta train some. academy has a secret. You're not really gonna do much, so, what would be good against? Well, I mean, guess I could use a flying move against it, for what it's worth. That wasn't even a physical move. You would have been screwed. Damn it! I swear, it never fails. Of course that would happen. Here. Get wrecked. Alright, any reason for me to use Metal Sound? I mean, I guess not for nothing, it would be better than Scary Face. You know, with that brief pause, I almost thought that the move was gonna miss. It's like, how do you miss? Alright, Night Slash. Now we're talking. I mean, there's no reason to have C-Bomb and Flower Trick. Shadow Ball, ooh. We're gonna do away with round. Too bad my water starter didn't really get anything. Did kind of get cheated though, so I don't really blame it. Yeah, I agree, you got robbed. What the hell was that? Alright, well, yeah. No, I didn't want to do the auto battle deal. Trust me, Ponyard is not exactly well equipped for that at the moment, especially with the Pokemon that are out here. Okay. Okay, we are roughly at the way mark that we've set. So it's the, the grass thingy. Alright, Ice Stone. Nice. And also nice. Never melt ice. I am strong. Well, major vote for the self-confidence. Bet. Put you to the test. Alright, Altaria then. Not a bad choice. Okay. I don't really have many options over a Pokemon that, aside from a Pokemon that just so happens to have a fairy type. Sorry, I was just answering a quick text that I happened to get. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say it's friggin' hit me with the 50% move. Never fails. But when I want a Pokemon to get a status ailment, not only is it a frickin' rigged coin toss, when it does work, it only really lasts for like a turn or so. You know. Or, if it relies on having like, a random, activation like, paralysis or confusion or infatuation, never seems to activate for me, you know. I mean, I guess, gotta kind of probably level the playing field, I guess, in some cases, because, a lot of trainers, a lot of Pokemon, they don't have the luxury of, having a bunch of healing items. And a lot of trainers also only have like 1 or 2 Pokemon at any given time. I thank you. Hi. You just kind of surprised me there. Well, I mean, I am trying to learn Pokemon, so might as well. And it's at a level, not only is it an evolved Pokemon, but it's also at a level where it's like I get a pretty good amount of experience from it. Yeah, I mean, you can go do that. I'm not gonna use physical attacks, although your special defense is also pretty beefy, so oh, that did pretty good. No, and I am kind of nearby a Pokemon Center, hopefully, so, the thing is... Okay, Mega Kick is a pretty hard-hitting move, it's just not accurate, so... I'm trying to... What really makes sense? I mean, I can always reteach it later, but at the same time, it's like, I'm not sure what really makes a whole lot of sense for it to have at the I mean, Air Slash is good for coverage, though. But your special attack is also incredibly awful, so I'm probably not gonna... I'm not gonna, you know... We're just gonna hit it really, really hard. We're just gonna hit things really, really hard. Are we in like the vicinity at the Pokemon Center? There, it sucks that I haven't gotten the ability to climb things just yet, unfortunately. But that's gonna be a bit. Sorry, I kind of wanted to sell, so because I know I had something. Okay, so I am still kind of weighing my options a little bit. So okay, so again, the next two major trainers that we are going to be going. Yeah, first let me just kind of get all the kind of notification stuff out of the way. Because we did kind of run into quite a number of new Pokemon, which kind of creates a lot of new entries in the Pokedex. Okay, so our next two options that that I kind of wanted to do next, we either go east further into the mountain and we challenge Rhyme, you know, the ghost gym leader, or we storm the Very Crew based. So I guess a lot of that kind of is dependent on what would be the easiest for me to raise up first. Do I raise up a team geared towards ghost users, or do I raise up a team geared towards fairy users? So as far as who I have right now, we already are going to have like a couple of an option for fairy type, and we have going to have a couple of options for ghost type, although ghost is strong against itself, so we're going to have a couple of Pokemon already kind of weak to its own type, although then we'll also have another Pokemon who is going to be dark type and has a dark type move. Fighting type isn't going to do a whole lot. Your Grandmaster is dark type, but at the level we're going to raise it in, it's not going to evolve. Pawniard evolves very, very late, unfortunately. Which, a matter of fact, a lot of Generation 5 Pokemon do for some odd reason. So, yeah, we're going to have like 3 Pokemon at the ready and then 1 used a little bit afterwards. Clodmam is going to be good for, you know, the fairy types. But let's see now. Sandy Gas might be good. I'm not sure what level it evolves in, but it's also going to be another ghost type. Same thing with Frostlass. You're going to be good, but again, you're going to be another ghost type. There's Bramblin, but Bramblin's also another ghost type. A lot of Pokemon that are weak to itself. You know, we got Magneton and Model. We got Euphorials. and Model V used for potential steel and poison types for the fairy type. And we also got, a Grimer for as another poison option. And we got a couple more Ghost and. So, what I'm probably gonna do, since I'm already gonna have a lot more Pokemon for the Ghost Gym, we're probably gonna focus on the Ghost Gym first. So, hold on. Here, we'll set Montenerva as a destination. Now, here it does mean we're gonna be facing quite a bit of ice Pokemon, as well as Pokemon that are already gonna be in like the little 40s or something of that nature. So, yeah, this is most certainly going to be very, very, very interesting. Especially since I'm only going to be leveling Pokemon up to like level 42. And a lot of them are going to be ghost types, so they're going to be like super effective against each other. This is going to play out very interestingly. Because even as we kind of saw with Atticus, even though I did kind of over level for him, it didn't exactly meant I had an easy time. He actually went through a good chunk of my team. I'm a courier fan. I just like to dress up I like to cosplay as a delivery person. Hey man, you do you. Star Raptor. I mean, that would have been nice, but not really sure how I feel about this. There isn't really a good way to go about this. I mean, that's probably the only thing that's gonna benefit me is that any normal or fighting moves it has, it basically cannot use. But it is also, on the observation of the fact that it is a bird and it is indeed flying, it is a flying type, so it could still use flying moves against it, against my Castpop. I mean, even one of those was a critical hit, so, yeah. Oh, nice, a full restore. I should definitely hang on to it and not use it at the first opportunity because it's going to be a while before I could even buy those in shops. Oh, there's just straight up ghost doggos are there too. Are here too. Do I have a Cupchew? I do not have a Cupchew. A little concerned, but oh, because of that. Okay. That's right, I'm totally lost. Alright, that may not work in your favor, Grandmaster. It is a fighting type, first and foremost, so... You know, come to think of it, a lot of my Pokemon aren't exactly well suited for this, so, I mean, not for nothing, I at least have a very tight move, but... And of course, it just avoids it like it's nothing. Fantastic. Oh, and you weren't even a Doros. You were a Zoroark. Alright, well, I got this Magus. Holy smokes! Oops. I just immediately clicked on the attack without thinking. Well, that was a little awkward. Ow. I should probably heal you. Well, you're hanging in there pretty nicely, Caspup. Don't tell me you actually wanted to come out here? Well, yeah, who doesn't like a good hike in the mountains? Alright. Let me just sort my Pokemon out again. Oh, hello. Okay, got a Bergmite. Haven't caught this guy yet. Ah, come on, man. You gotta be like that. You're gonna pull that nonsense. Alright. Alright. You good, little iceberg. Get in the ball. There we go. Not sure how much I would have to level it up, because I think it evolves by level up. I think it evolves by level up. I'm gonna call you Bergchum. Oh, Cubchoo. Okay, hopefully that's enough to catch it. Gonna get quite a number of ice Pokemon from being in the mountains. Oh, dang. Gonna call you... Cold Drip. It's so happy with its little snotsicle. Of course, gotta do all this organization stuff again. Lower defense and high special defense. Eh. Oh. No, I was trying to get the item and head to the restroom for a bit for a break. But okay, I mean I can always spare time to catch a Snover. Yes. Yeah, getting quite a few catches just from being out in the mountains. I'm gonna call you Frostry. Yeah, it's the Frostry Pokemon. Okay, but in all seriousness, I do have to use the restroom again, so I will be right back. All right, back again. Ugh. Ugh. All right. Just checking on things real quick. All right, back to game time. All right. Okay. I didn't want to do that. All right. Okay. Yeah, Montenerva can be kind of easy to pass on by because I actually did kind of the toughest gym fight before I did Montenerva, as well as whatever the city that Tulip is in, because I kind of thought that Tulip was going to be the toughest, but no, it is actually Grusha. Um, so yeah, it's like it is definitely a interesting setup for sure. Okay, so okay, I at least found I at the very least found the town, so it'll be easy to get back to because we aren't quite ready yet. Plus, I got some stuff to sell. Yes, we are still up and about. Uh, not. I'm still kind of debating a little bit. Oh, did this go out? Yeah, it went out. Shoot. It's gonna be a little hard to grab. Because it says like I could have this on for like 3 hours, but it's not even 2. Hold on. Give me a moment. Because I did have room to connect it to my my external, you know, battery, but not sure if I'm gonna have enough room for that. Hold on. Not even gonna bother with the break screen because I already turned that on. Let's see. Charging cable, hooray! Yeah, it's like no matter how low I set to the light setting, it always goes out quicker than what it says it was going to go. It's like it's supposed to last for like at least 5 hours, and it doesn't. Give me a second. Okay, now I just need to position this in a way that doesn't make anything fall. Huh. Okay, this is gonna be a little tricky because I'm already kind of using up a whole lot of my desk space as it is. Okay, that looks like it can work. Then comes the matter of phone. Push this a little bit back. I'm gonna, finish this in. Place that over here. It's because it's empty. Hopefully, I will not feel the need to get another bottle of water until the stream is done. You never really know. But okay, got something working. All right, yeah, see, that looks a little bit better. All right, probably gonna continue on for like another hour or so. So may not exactly be able to face any major trainers before everything is said and done, but we can at least set things up for next time. In fact, let me check the map real quick. Let's see. Gonna also try to go over here, because that way I can quickly fly to the locations that I want to go to. Okay, well, not for nothing, I know you can take care of a Cubchoo. Hey, that's nice. Okay. That was incredibly rude of you. Of course you would get the boost. And of course my own attack would miss you. Why wouldn't it? You are just gonna be a nuisance, aren't you? Oh, freaking really? You know what? I'm just ready to knock you out of principle. See, I don't even feel bad. Watch, it's like that's the one that has like better stat better stat distribution. It's like, ah, shoot. It's gonna spite me all the way to the end, huh? Alright. I twisted my ankle climbing over some rocks. Maybe a battle distract me from the pain. Man, is there like... I know, like... This world is very Pokemon center, but it's like, dang, it's like, don't humans at the very least have like a first aid kit or something? I forgot about my ankle, but now my pride hurts. That dastardly pride. What are we gonna do with it? So, we kinda wanna pay our attention a little more this way. Oh dear. Kinda sliding around for a bit. But I am curious about that item, though. All these nice items. Oh, is that a Glaceon? Yeah, boy. Don't even need to use a nice stone to get you. Ow. I do love how you can just get evolutions in the wild now. That's nice. sometimes like trade evolutions too. It's like, hey, I don't have to worry about trading to get this Pokemon. I can just catch it. Ah, man. Can you at least do me a solid and get in the ball? No? Get in the ball, please. Uh... Wow. You just don't want to get in there, do you? Oh yeah, nighttime. Duh. Dust ball. There we go. That was better. Okay, that looks like a better move for you. Yeah, we don't really need Torment. Good name for Glaceon. Well, I mean, it's female and all, so... We'll just do the easy. Easy. Elsa! Call it Elsa. Frickin' froze my little pawn boy. Pawnyard. It also saves me from using an Ice Stone too, because that's the new way to evolve Eevee into Glaceon. Otherwise, you have to find a very, 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 very cold rock that you wouldn't exactly know what to kind of look for until you actually like walk next to it, and like into a discrete location, and just kind of be like, yes, it is indeed a cold rock. I just need to happen to find a wild Pokemon or use a rare candy or something in the area, and my Eevee will evolve. Same thing with like a mossy rock or something for a Leafeon, which, yeah, it's kind of as stupid as it sounds, and I'm glad they changed it to make it easier to get Leafeon and Glaceon. I got another Ice Stone. Large experience candy. Holy smokes. Okay. Yeah, you're not quite up to snuff for a Bronzong just yet. I'm gonna have quite a number of Pokemon that's gonna be like level 42 all at once. It'll be definitely interesting to go about this, because, yeah, it's like all at the same time. I'm going to try to find other Pokemon to kind of train up for this dealio. Been having some nice battles? I mean, have I ever? Okay, I just need to defeat 4 trainers in this fine area. No biggie. Yeah, I've been catching quite a few Pokemon. Okay. Oh, I see a Vaporeon. Hello, indiscreetly fellow student of mine. They're a bag of riddles. Is that so? Personally, I don't think Cassiopeia feels any hate or resentment towards Team Star. No, there must be some other reason between Operation Starfall. But what could it be? Well, I'd best to keep keeping watch. Call for me if you decide to take on the base, okay? Okay, but... Oh... Hi. I'm not sure. Yeah, I guess. I mean, this is not the same as taking on the base, but it also gives me a good idea of what to expect for the actual base itself. Oh, level 48. Oh, this was a mistake. This was a mistake. Wow. Uh... Oops. Yeah, we definitely need to leave this for later. Holy crap. This was not a good idea. I thought you were into like low mid 40s. This is just the introductory battle. It's like, oh, oh no. This is a terrible idea. Oh no. That somehow worked out. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't think your own levels would be this high. Used to be the director of the academy. Interesting. Yeah, definitely later though. I am not facing. Yeah, and he was the former director of the academy for that. Later. Definitely later. Yeah, this was not a good idea. I didn't think the level curve would just jump like that. I thought you were gonna be in the low 40s. What was that? Man, I may have to kind of rethink things a little bit because, I may have to do at least one more gym battle in between because like, again, what the hell was that? Talk about misremembering. Yeesh. Okay, yeah, we aren't gonna be doing this for a good while because that. And I don't think the Pokemon or trainers here are gonna be that much better, so. I'm just gonna set this as a destination so that we can at least get some training in. Although I need to be careful. Who knows about any of the Pokemon down the slope, you know. Okay, I think it might be a little bit better now, because we're at least considerably up on the mountain. Okay, this is not too bad. We can work with this. Okay. Alright, Hyper Voice. That's actually pretty good. But I mean, honestly, it'd be kind of more handy to have it over Snarl, I guess. Okay, so now we're going to be starting to switch some Pokemon out. Okay, we're kind of doing good on the ghost front, so we kind of need to. Although, to be fair, I'm not sure if we should immediately do Ortega after Rhyme. Now that I'm kind of thinking about it, I think our next focus should be the Psychic Gym. So which could include, well, okay, Roland Poland is a bug type, so that wouldn't be such a bad idea. So we're gonna have Roland Poland be part of the crew next. Okay, I think I have I think I have a Ralts. So, oh, there's a Frostlass just chilling. Nice. I probably could have saved that Dawnstone then, but whatevs. I might be able to find another one. Plus, I think at the rate I'm going, I'm probably not gonna get a Gallade in a timely manner. Yeah, cool. You can just do that. I mean, a lot of this is going to be kind of training too, so I'm trying to think what would be a good stopping point. If I should just train until the Ghost Gym Leader, maybe even do the Ghost Gym Leader and call it a day or something. Who knows? Hmm. You were such a pain in, well, not you specifically, but Sneasel was such a pain in the neck last time. Especially because, you know, we had to hit Fury Swipes 5 frickin' times. Almost kind of like what you were doing right now. 4 isn't really that much better. Okay. Got a good hit on you, at least, so... Ultra Ball away. You're also dark. Saying, you're also dark type, so... I should also check to see if I also have a Razor Claw. By chance. Okay. I'm gonna call you... Hmm. of stumped for a name for this one. You know what? I'm probably gonna go with my first instinct. I'm gonna call you Sneaker. I don't know why. Just kind of the first thing that just kind of came up. Yeah, he took that crit like a champ. I do have an experienced Candy Large. Gotta be kind of mindful of how I end up using it. Now, do I have a Razor Claw by any chance? Nah, not really. That's okay, I guess. Not too concerned with it at the moment. Plus, I can always run into one at some point later. You're a little on the higher side. Plus, you're also dark type, so that does kind of help a little bit, even though you don't have dark type moves for some reason. And you have lower attack but higher special attack for some reason. Ah, darn. It's like, man, ain't that nice? You know, flying Magnemite. I mean, aside from getting immunity to ground types, I'm not sure how that would benefit a Magnemite. Even though, I mean, I guess with its levitating, I guess it kind of makes sense in a way. Still a little odd, though. You know what? We're gonna go doggo-e-doggo. Yeah, it kind of worked out in my favor a little bit. That's hardly fair. I mean, I did kind of also switch out, so that wasn't exactly the most fair thing out of me either. I mean, okay. Alright, Vaporeon. Probably shouldn't have my fire type out for this. See, with that kind of pause, I always think that the attack is gonna miss. Even though it's just, you know, just trying to let me know, hey, you know, this effect is an effect. Even though it's evolving a type that it already has. And a little redundant, but alright. Energy Ball. Well, your special attack is not really good, so we are not gonna worry about that too much. Okay, Weavile. Yeah, that's the one that I was thinking of evolving my Sneasel to, but alright, well, we already have a Pokemon that can take care of that, no problem. know, it is a little interesting that I'm still training Suckutail, even though you're actually not going to be used for a little bit, because we kind of need to be in the mid to high 40s for Ortega. It's like, oops. Okay. Took care of another one, so... Okay. Because, yeah, we want to kind of start also having, yeah, like, additional bug, ghost, dark types a little bit. But the other thing, too, is that, yeah, especially because, you know, we are eventually going to need, you know, poison and steel types. Kind of need to get a few Pokemon kind of going here. So that's the thing. It's like, who do I start out with? Because we'll have at least one more. So I think for the time being, Glacie could probably be. Because I mean, you also. Okay, what ruse can I have you remember? Confuse Ray will be handy. Let's see. But what can I... Okay, well, these aren't exactly bad moves. So, I mean, I guess for right now, we could probably get rid of Protect. I mean, don't look, Gasp up. Hello, hello. Yeah, thank you for subscribing and, you know, joining in. Very much appreciated. You know, just training up for one of the gyms. Okay, so that's 3 we got now. All right, who else do I kind of wanna get going here? I mean, do learn dark type moves, so it wouldn't be too bad to have you. But at the same time, let's see. Really, those are your only options, huh? You know, I think you level up at some point, so... Beat the game already? Now you're gonna complete the Pokedex? Oh, that's nice. I mean, I did beat Scarlet. This is the copy that I have for streaming purposes. Okay. Right now, Astonish is all you got, but not the worst. You know, I think from the kind of the rate I'm going, might be like another half hour or so. And maybe call it a day. Because I have been going for a little bit of while, and I I'm not sure what time zone you're at, but it's almost midnight, where I'm at. Getting a little tired. You know, post-directed announcement high is kind of wearing off. Unfortunately. So, 9:32 where you at, so it sounds like you live at the West Coast there, baby Mario. Uh, I'm Central, so yeah, a little on the later side. It would have already been midnight if I lived in the East Coast. Okay, before I fight you, kinda wanna prep my Pokemon up a little bit, and I think I have plenty of ethers. Yeah, 28 of these suckers. Because, yeah, I'm running out of hex. I understand here, in this freezing land, I've come to understand its great truth. What, that it's really freaking cold and you're getting frostbite on your feet? Hey, Lucario. Hey, ain't that nice? If you're not doing anything, we should battle each other sometime. I mean, it does sound fun and all. The thing is that I am considering ending the stream in about a half hour or so, and I kind of want to get some training in whenever possible. Unfortunately, as far as tonight's concerned, probably not gonna take up on your offer, especially because given that we would need to set aside some time to set it up, that then I'd be staying up a little longer than I would have liked. I kind of already started a little bit later than usual, because usually if I'm not getting close to starting at around 9 o'clock or so, I usually don't consider streaming for the day, just because then it gets really too late and stuff, and it's just like it becomes a little less entertaining for both me and the audience if I just yawn all the time. I mean, sometimes I can start as early as like 7:30, and I would end up yawning all the time. It really depends on how I feel on any given day, but Alright, another Pokemon at level 32. Unfortunately, you're not gonna really be too helpful coming up, so let's see now. Maybe in 3 levels you'll learn something helpful, so why not? I mean, or I guess I can always check if I could spare a TM or something. Surely you gotta learn a decent dark move in like 3 levels. You're level 39. I think I have a Mankey. I mean, I know getting Terra Pokemon with unique Terra types could very well be beneficial, but not exactly the highest of priorities at the moment. Plus, you're likely going to have an Ice Terror type, which, for Primeape and Annihilate, I'm not sure how well that would work. I mean, like, what? The most benefit you could get is, like, maybe, like, Ice Punch or something? This is my spot. You look like you're going to be a tougher than usual trainer, and I do not have my best Pokemon out with me. So, you know what? Yeah, you can have that spot. You could definitely have that spot. Not gonna contest it. Right. Dang. Rip Bozo. Such a shame. It was such a shame what happened to Gresha. That accident ruined his snowboarding career. Seems like you were quite a bit of a fan. Multigeist. Hmm. Oh man, I'm kind of really starting to fade here. I might have to cut this a little short. I don't think I could last another half hour. You are looking to send out Dunsparce. I know I've been kind of averaging like in the 3.5 hours, but this might be a shorter than usual part, unfortunately. Sorry about that. Alrighty. Okay. So yeah, I think we are just going to call it a day from here. I know, a little bit of a bummer that I couldn't at least go another half hour or so. But yeah, I'm just, that's what happens when I start a little too late, and especially because, I'm not really doing anything major for a good while. I still have to train at least 3 more reliable teammates for the gym, and then after that, we're gonna have to like see whoever more we can train, among kind of like all of our potential options here. Might have to kind of start using up some experience candy because, yeah, I mean, I have a lot of Pokemon that are like in the 20s and earlier 30s that I didn't catch recently or didn't use recently for like, the last part. So, and I mean, some of them, I kind of, don't have as good of an option, unfortunately. So, which is a little unfortunate. And yeah, it's like that fight in front of the gate of the fairy base for Team Star was a little bit of a nasty surprise. I still managed to get through it, but dang, was not planning for that. And yeah, I don't want to break out the Zoroark just yet. So yeah, we're gonna be working on some Pokemon for a good while. So there's going to be quite a bit of training. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised that a lot of the next part would be training, with, one gym battle. Cause yeah, I might, after Montenerva, I might start going on, the opposite direction. Like, I think, southwestern Paldea. And, do the gym fight there, and then we'll reconsider doing the Team Star base, because I think that's, like, mid-40s, if I remember correct. Yeah, emphasis, if I remember correctly, because, again, I could easily be misremembering things. So... So yeah, but we are going to be focusing on the Ghost Gym for the next part, at the very least, whenever that may be. And I am going to try to lock down a date to do a charity stream. Since I kind of missed the springtime, it will be split between 2 charities, namely St. Jude's Children's Hospital and Able Gamers. And I have decided to focus on the You Don't Know Jack games, just to do something a little bit different and not quickly go back to the game show games too soon. Although I'm going to be playing what is essentially a parody of a game show through the Jackbox Party Pack. But I will try to provide further details as soon as I'm comfortable with landing a date for that. I'm hoping that it could be maybe, sometime next week, beginning of July, hopefully mid-July at the latest, because, then the next time I'm going to do something, as far as a charity stream goes, would be Extra Life Game Day. So, yeah, I want to give some time in between, those 2 streams to hopefully get more Pokemon streams done, and in the occasional special stream or discussion stream. So yeah, I am pretty much almost going to be down and out. So with all that said, thank you for everyone who tuned in to either this stream or my Nintendo Direct discussion earlier today. Hope you enjoyed either. It was definitely nice, being able to get stuff going again for as often as I could, at least try to. I was trying to do a part 10, last week, on Friday, but had internet connection issues. So even with the Ethernet. So yeah, again, thank you all for tuning in. Hope you have yourselves a wonderful evening and take care.